Unit 5, Formative 2, Day 2. This is the square root method. Okay, now normally standard form is ax to the second plus bx plus c, and we set it equal to 0. Okay, but now we have to talk about when there's no b. So when the b is gone, you have ax to the second plus c. So you don't have a term that just has an x. So that's when you use the square root method. So number one, you look and you say, okay, I have x squared and I have a number. Okay, so there is no b. So what you do is you get the x squared by itself, which we have already. Okay, and then to undo an x squared, you take the square root of both sides. Okay, so you get the square root of x to the second is x. The square root of 36 is 6. But because you're taking the square root, you have to use plus or minus, because it could be positive 6 or it could be negative 6. Okay, number 2, so again, 5x to the second equals 45, so we don't have a term with a b, or with it just an x. So we get the x to the second by itself, so we need to divide both sides by 5. So you have x to the second equals 45 divided by 5, which is 9. Okay, and once you have the x to the second by itself, you take the square root of both sides. So you get x equals, the square root of 9 is 3, but because we took the square root, you have to do plus or minus. Okay, the most common mistake is you guys are going to forget to do plus or minus. Number 3, again, do we have a b? Do we have any terms with x? No. Okay, so we want to get x to the second by itself. So first step would be to add 12 to both sides. So you have 3x to the second equals 12. Divide both sides by 3. So x to the second equals 4. Once the x to the second is by itself, square root both sides, and you get x equals 2. So plus or minus 2. And last one we're going to do today, negative 4x to the second plus 64 equals 0. Again, we don't have a term with just an x, so we get our x to the second by itself. So you have negative 4x to the second equals negative 64. Divide both sides by negative 4. So x squared equals 16. Square root both sides. So x equals plus or minus 4. Alright, so don't forget that you only do this when there is no b term. So there's no term with just an x, and don't forget your plus or minus when you take the square root.